Okay, so those of you that are here, please come and sit close to your screen if you're not there yet. And we're going to start in Siddhasana. And I'd like you to sit on 2 foams for today, okay? We're going to start in Dandasana. If you need blocks for your fingers, you can take them. Legs out wide for Parakonasana. And then what I'd like you to see, and which is why I've asked you to come close to the screen, is when you come into any of the Padmasana, Siddhasana, Barakonasana today, if you can take your hand behind your knee like this to draw your leg in, and then taking the top of the opposite hand to turn the foot. I just want to let somebody in, and then I'll demonstrate again. Okay, Eva's
already done.
Thanks, Hada. Thank you. Okay, so this is a very important part of it, especially for the knees, so that you take all your fingers behind the knee joint to pull it in the opposite hand onto the top of the foot to turn the foot to face upward. So for those of you with knee niggles, you're going to take your scarf and you're going to bring your scarf behind your knee, and then you're going to draw it in. And the same thing to place it down. So you want to pull the scarf so that it's right behind the knee joint, just to alleviate that. And you might need to fold it double or triple, depending on the sensitivity of your knee. If you're seated in your Siddhasana and your knees are not coming down to the floor, then take a rolled blanket and bring that to support your shin bones. Okay. So you can move back to your space now and take 2 foams to come and sit on your 2 foams. If you've got a knee niggle, take a scarf and have a rolled blanket ready for in case you need it. And if you would like your hands to go onto the floor for Dandasana, then just take 2 blocks beside you and come and sit in your Dandasana with your legs forward, straight ahead. And adjust your buttock flesh, so draw your buttock flesh backwards so that you're seated on your sitting bones. And then if your arms are long enough and you can put your fingertips on the floor, you can do that. Otherwise, you can use your blocks. And just coming to sit upright, lengthening your spine. Roll your inner groins down to the floor and extend into your heels. And then from here, bring your legs wide out for Parakonasana. So if at any point you need to readjust your buttocks, please feel free to do that. Let your toes face straight up and activate your legs. Draw up your thighs. Let your inner groin settle down, upper buttocks settle down. And now I'm going to mirror you. So take your right hand and bring your right fingers behind your right knee and draw that foot in. Take the top of your right foot with your left hand and then turn the sole of the foot to face upward. And then right at the end, you release your fingers. And now the same thing with your left knee. Remember, those of you who need it, you can take your scarf behind the knee, pulling that left knee in. Take the top of the foot with your right hand, turn the sole of the foot up, and then settle into your Siddhasana. For those of you who can't get the knees down to the floor, please take your rolled blanket and bring it underneath your shin bones. And I'm going to ask you to just keep your eyes open for this first round of Siddhasana. On the second side, we'll close the eyes and we'll chant an Om together. But right now, as you seated down, just have a look at your shin bones, and your shin bones are rolling externally to the floor, out and down. Your thigh bones externally rotating back and down. And then as your inner groins settle down to the earth and your upper buttock area settle down to the earth, let your inner groins extend towards your inner knees. And then draw back from your outer knees to your outer hips. Keeping the upper buttocks descending down and your abdomen broadly moving back and up. I'm just going to let somebody in.
I've got it. You
thank you, Ada. And then as you are seated, so this upper buttock area moving down, abdomen broadly back and up. For the shoulders to release, the tops of the shoulders to release, you'll hear me referring to the top trapezius, which is this upper trapezius area, tops of the shoulders moving down, by activating the bottom trapezius, which is this part of the trapezius where you draw your bottom edges of your shoulder blades in and then down. So it pulls this upper trapezius down. And then shoulders into your back to lift up your sternum and just soften your throat. Relax your jaw. Let your eyes soften back into the base of your skull. Let your eyes are still gently open. And align the crown of your head directly above your pelvic floor. And then from here, without disturbing yourself too much, release your legs out once again into Trikonasana, toes facing up, draw your thighs up. And now we're going to change direction. So take your left fingers behind your left knee, draw that left foot in, take the top of the foot with your right hand, and then turn the sole of the foot to face up. And then you release your fingers. Right hand behind your right knee, draw that foot in, take the top of the foot with your left hand and turn the sole of the foot up and place it in front. So it's like just a variation of Siddhasana, one foot in front of the other. If at any point you need to adjust your buttocks, do that. And then from here, I'm going to ask you to bring your palms of your hands together so that the base of your thumbs is at the base of your sternum. And when you feel ready, just very gently let your top eyelid rest onto your bottom eyelid. Draw your attention inward. Feel your upper buttocks rooting down, your abdomen broadly moving back and up. And just that feeling of your outer thighs hugging in towards your midline. A lifting from the base of the spine up to the crown of your head. Top trapezius releasing down your back by activating the bottom edges of your shoulder blades in and down. So collarbone smile open. Relax your throat. Relax your jaw. And release your tongue away from your teeth and away from the roof of your mouth. Let your eyeballs soften away from your eyelids. And then let your eyes very gently turn in the direction of your heart space. Crown of your head easing up towards the sky. Let your breath flow freely in and out of the passages of your nostrils. We'll open with one chant of Om. Exhale completely. Inhale deeply. Bow your head to your heart. Just take a moment here to make your own inner acknowledgements. Release the backs of your hands onto your thighs. Very softly let your eyes open and then raise your head up. Open your legs once again into Trikonasana. And then from there, bring your legs back into Dandasana, stretching the backs of your knees. And come closer to your camera. So come and sit right at your screen so that you can observe. I'm going to demonstrate the whole next sequence of posture so that I don't have to interrupt you and we can build a lot of heat in the body so that we can get to a place where the hips open more freely. So blocks will be at the back of your mat for in case you need them. Okay, we're going to do 3 standing postures. And before each standing posture, we're going to do a sun salutation. So I'd just like to demonstrate from here. So for anyone with any joint niggles, whether it's ankles, knees, lower back, hips, whatever it is, rather step, please don't jump in the sun salutations and in the standing poses. So first posture, Trikonasana. Second posture, then we're going to do a sun salutation. Second posture is going to be warrior 2. Third posture is going to be Parakonasana, using blocks if you need it. So those are the 3 standing poses we'll do. In between, we're going to do sun salutations, and I'd like to just offer modifications here. Again, if you have any shoulder niggles, neck niggles, any joint issues, please don't jump. So this is how the sun salutations are going to work. If you have any, if your hamstrings are a bit tight, please use your blocks here. And then for those of you that are jumping, bringing your feet a little bit back, and you're going to lean into your hands so that your body weight is in the hands. And then from there, we're going to go into dog stretch. Some of you will be stepping. We'll spend some time here. Coming forward into plank. Please, if you have any shoulder niggles, lower back stuff, drop your knees down. Everybody else coming into Chaturanga, and then from there, Urdhva Padmasana. Those of you that are on the floor, if you have lower back niggles, just Bhujangasana. And then from there, Adho Mukha Svanasana, and either again stepping or jumping. Those of you jumping, the weight is in your hands. And then coming up. Okay. So we're going to start right away with the sun salutations. Stand on the length of your mat. Have your 2 blocks at the back of your mat for the standing postures. And come and stand in Tadasana with your feet together. Bring your arms beside your body for the moment. Look straight ahead. Soften your eyes. Release the top trapezius by activating the bottom trapezius. And now on the next inhalation, reach your arms up. Little finger side of the hand facing each other. And then exhale, Uttanasana. For those of you who need your blocks, please have them. We'll spend a few moments just to be here. Draw up your thighs, roll your inner groins back. Let your head and your neck relax. Still that release of the tops of your shoulders by activating the bottom edges of your shoulders and drawing them down your back towards your buttocks. On the next inhalation, Urdhva Uttanasana. Those of you jumping, please take your feet back a little bit, bend your knees, lean your body weight into your hands. So you're placing your hands flat on the floor for your dog stretch. And then lean your body weight into your hands and jump back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, or step. Holding dog stretch. Root down through your hands, through your feet. Draw your upper arm muscles onto your upper arm bones and externally rotate your arms to make that space in your neck and your shoulders. Draw up your thigh muscles onto your thigh bones and draw them back into your hip sockets. So there's a stretching of the body, but there's also a reconnecting back into the joints. Very important. Inhale, come forward into Palakkasana, plank pose. Hold it there. Broadly spread your abdomen back to your lower spine. Keep your neck in line with your spine. So some of you here are going to drop your knees down. Others, exhale, elbows back, chest forward, Chaturanga. Inhale, either Bhujangasana or Urdhva Padmasana. Please take the variation that works for your body. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Nice spacious breaths through your nose. Come up onto the balls of your feet. Lift your buttocks high. Keep your buttocks high. Bend your knees. Lie your chest onto your thighs. Broadly spread your abdomen back to your spine. Look forward where you're going to go. Either step or hop to the front of your mat. Urdhva Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach your arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. And Tadasana. Come and stand facing the camera in the middle of your mat. Your blocks are at the back of your mat in case you need them. Feet together, fingertips to touch, upper buttocks down, abdomen broadly, back and up. Relax the tops of your shoulders down your back, away from your neck. And then either step or hop your feet apart, arms out to the side. So Trikonasana, turn your whole right leg out to the right side. Push into the ball of your left foot, step your left heel back. And for the moment, just stay standing. For those of you with shoulder niggles, you can stay with your hands on your hips at any point. So reach into your fingers and draw your upper arms back into your shoulder sockets. Root down through your feet and draw your femur bones back into your hip sockets. So there's that bidirectional action. Your torso directly above your hips. Externally rotate that right thigh. And when you go into your Trikonasana, draw that outer right hip towards your left inner thigh as you come down, bringing your right hand either onto the earth or onto your block. So those of you with neck niggles, please look down towards your right foot. If you have any shoulder things going on, keep your left hand onto your hip. Turn your abdomen and turn your chest open to the sky. Oh, lovely. Nice spacious breaths. Keep that external rotation of that right thigh, drawing that outer right hip back towards your left inner thigh. Keep that rolling out, which is an action that comes in Padmasana. Keep your thighs active, drawing your knees up. Inhale, come up. Square your feet. Arms out to the side or hands onto your hips for shoulders. Turn your whole left leg out to the left side. Push into the ball of your right foot, step your right heel back. Again, standing here for the moment, root down through your feet. Draw your femur bones back into your hip sockets. Stretch into your fingers and plug your arm bones back into your shoulder sockets. Tops of your shoulders releasing down your back. And then external rotation on that left thigh. Draw that outer left hip towards your right inner thigh. Bring your left hand down on the outside of your left shin, either on the floor or onto your block. Those of you with neck niggles, please look down to your left foot. Shoulder niggles, hand on your hip. And then turn your abdomen and turn your chest open to the sky. Keeping the strength in your legs, thighs drawing up. Lovely. On the next inhalation, draw that right arm up to come up. Square the outer edges of your feet. And then either step or jump your feet together. Tadasana. Come and stand at the length of your mat, feet together. And again, Surya Namaskara. Inhale, reach your arms up, root down through your heels, draw up your thigh bones, stretch into your fingers. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, open your collarbones, hands further forward of your feet, and you have set up your hands for your dog stretch. Lean your body weight into your hands. Exhale, step or jump, dog stretch. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Land for a moment. Again, just feeling that connection of your thigh bones into your hips, connection of your arm bones back into your shoulders, and that broad spread of your abdomen back to your lower spine, a feeling of coming into your center. Inhale, wave yourself forward into Palakkasana, plank pose. Hold it there. Keep your neck in line with your spine. And then either dropping your knees down or Chaturanga. Inhale, either Bhujanga or Urdhva Padmasana. Draw your thighs up, lift your chest. Exhale, roll back to your heels, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You are very nice. Come onto the balls of your feet. Lift your buttocks high up, bend your knees. Lie your chest onto your thighs, look forward, abdomen broadly back to your spine, and either step or hop, Urdhva Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach your arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. And release your arms, Tadasana. Come and stand in the center of your mat, facing towards your camera. Make sure, you don't actually need your blocks now, but they're there anyway. I'm sure some of you have them. Okay, Virabhadrasana 2. Bend your knees, abdomen broadly back to your spine. Release the tops of your shoulders down your back. And then either step or hop, legs wide apart. So from here, turn your whole right leg out to the right side. Push into the ball of your left foot, step your left heel back. Torso directly above your hips and your hips in alignment with each other, balanced. And now from there, bend your right knee directly above your ankle. And as you do that, keep drawing that outer right hip towards your left inner thigh. Bring your chest towards your left side and your gaze over your right hand. And now as you stay in the posture, draw your thighs back into the midline towards your hips. It's like you're compacting your hips. Extend from your inner right groin to your inner right knee, and then draw back from your outer right knee to your outer right hip. Inhale, come back up, arms out. Remember, those of you with shoulder niggles, your hands can be on your hips. Turn your whole left leg out to the left side. Push into the ball of your right foot, step your right heel back. And now bend your left knee directly above your ankle. And as you do that, slide that outer left hip towards your right inner thigh. And then turn your chest to your right side, but gaze over your left hand. If your shoulders niggle, just your hands are on your hips. And then extend from your inner left groin to your inner left knee and draw back from your outer left knee to your outer left hip. Inhale, come back up, square the outer edges of your feet and either step or jump your feet together, Tadasana. Last sun salutation, you should be getting warmer. Come and stand at the length of your mat, feet together, Tadasana. Root down through your feet, draw your thighs up. Inhale, reach up. Relax the top trapezius down your back by activating the bottom edges of your shoulder blades in and down. Exhale, Uttanasana, folding. And as you do that, draw your abdomen back to your lower spine. Place your hands down forward of your feet. Lean your body weight into your hands and then either step or jump. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Relax your head and your neck. Inhale, wave forward into Palakkasana, plank pose. Keep your neck in line with your spine. Either drop your knees down or full chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Padmasana. Release the tops of your shoulders down your back, free your neck. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come onto the balls of your feet. Bend your knees, lie your chest on your thighs. Inhale, step or hop forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. And Tadasana. Okay, coming to stand in the center of your mat. Last standing posture, Parakonasana. Have your blocks ready in case you need them. I like to use mine on a low edge, but you know your body, whatever you need. Come and stand in the center. Fingertips to touch, abdomen broadly back and up. And then from there, step or jump your feet apart. And remember now, very important for those of you who need it, please keep your hands on your hips. I'll also give variations for the neck. Turn your whole right leg out to the side. Step your left heel back. So external rotation on that right thigh. Bend your right knee directly above your ankle. So you're in Virabhadrasana 2. Now bring your left hand, everybody, onto your left hip. So those of you with shoulder niggles, you might feel to just keep it there. And bring your right hand down on the outside of your right ankle, either on the floor or on your block. And stay here. I'm going to show you from the back side. You might be able to see your camera. Hit that outer left knee, right knee onto your outer right upper arm and outer right upper arm onto your knee to use it as a fulcrum to turn your body open to the sky. And then for those of you with any neck niggles, please look down towards your right foot. Shoulder people, you can either keep your hand on your hip, or you can do this activation that Esma showed us so nicely the last time, reaching your left arm forward, plug your left upper arm into your shoulder socket, and then take your arm up and over your head, and turn your abdomen and turn your chest open to the sky. For those of you with the arm out, stretch your left arm and your left foot away from each other, extended side angle posture, and spiral open to the sky. Inhale, swing that left arm up to come up, square the outer edges of your feet. And then turning your whole left leg out to the side. Remember, you can have your hands on your hips. Right foot steps back. Bend your left knee directly above your ankle. Virabhadrasana 2, external rotation on that thigh. So everybody bring your right hand onto your right hip and bring your left hand down on the outside of your left ankle, either on your block or on the floor. Again, you're pressing that outer left knee and that upper arm against each other to use it as a fulcrum to turn your abdomen and turn your chest open. And then if you have any neck niggles, you're looking down to your left foot. Shoulder people, either hand on your hip, or you can go for the variation, bringing your right arm out first forward towards the camera, plug your arm bone back into your shoulder socket. And then from there, take your arm up and over your head and turn your abdomen and turn your chest open to the sky. Those of you with the arms out, stretch your right arm and your right foot away from each other. And last little spiral open. On the next inhalation, swing that right arm up, come up, square the outer edges of your feet. And then either step or jump your feet together, coming to stand in Tadasana. So if you feel that you have a very clear vision from where you are, the next two postures are quite simple. So I won't demonstrate them, we'll do them together. Come and sit in Dandasana. If you like, you can take a support and come and sit facing the camera with your legs straight forward. So we will be doing Barakonasana and Adho Mukha Swastikasana, just to continue opening the hips. And I'm sure it's welcome now to just sit down for a moment and feel your breath. So in Dandasana, bend your knees and now bring the soles of your feet together. In fact, sorry, I forgot my own rule. Take your hands, your fingers behind your knees to pull your feet together into Barakonasana. So your fingers are behind your knees for the moment. Those of you with knee niggles, you will have a scarf behind your niggled knee. And then you remove your hands and possibly bringing your feet a little closer. If you can, interlock your fingers at the web of your fingers and bring it around your feet. If that's a little bit far away, then hold onto your ankle bones and come and sit upright. So wherever you're holding on, let it lengthen your spine. Balancing the crown of your head above your pelvic floor. If you guys see me looking this way, it's just I've got a bigger screen so I can see the picture slightly bigger. And then again, upper buttock area descending down, inner groins descending down. And lengthen outward from your inner groins to your inner knees. And draw back from your outer knees to your outer hips. So there's a feeling of compacting inward and then lifting the energy from the base of the spine upward. So the tailbone coils forward and up the front of the spine to lift your pubic bone to your navel, navel to your sternum, and release the tops of your shoulders down your back, away from your ears. And you can either choose to stay upright if you feel that you're working quite strongly in this variation, or begin to walk your hands forward, but maintaining the length of your spine so that you're folding forward from the hinge of your hips and not bending your spine. arms a little wider than your shoulders as you go forward to keep this collarbone area wide and to keep the release of that upper trapezius area down your back, again by activating the bottom trapezius. So those bottom edges of your shoulder blades drawing in towards each other and then down your back to release. Keep your head in line with your spine. And then from there, slowly come back up. And take your hands to the outsides of your thighs and bring your knees together. And then straighten your legs out once again in Dandasana. So you can either stay on your support, or if you feel that you can come down to the floor for the next pose, you're welcome to do so. So coming into a cross-legged position with your right leg crossed in front. So Swastikasana. Make sure that you're crossing in the middle of your shin bones. Again, if there's a knee niggle, you've just got your scarf behind that knee. So your heels and your knees are in line with each other, your shin bones parallel. And then take your hands and move your buttock flesh backwards so that you're seated on your sitting bones. Bring your hands forward. So again, pay attention to the length of your spine, not to round your spine as you come forward. Let your upper buttock area sit down to the earth. Abdomen broadly back and up. And then maintaining that, walk your hands forward, coming into Ardha Mukha Swastikasana. And we're going to do the Pajva also. Keep your head in line with your spine. Check that your abdomen is still broadly moving back and up. So there's that lift of energy in the spine. And now walk your hands over to your right side, moving your abdomen and your chest over that right foot. And bring your left ribs into your body to make space on the right side ribs. And then come forward once again, walking your hands forward. And now from there over to your left side, walking your hands over, bringing your chest over that left foot. And again, bring these right side ribs in to lengthen the left side ribs. So both sides of your torso are equally long. Walk your hands forward once again. One more stretch there. And then walk your hands back up. And come up and straighten your legs back into Dandasana. Bend your knees and now cross, I'm mirroring you, cross your left leg in front of your right leg. Again, cross in the middle of your shins and let your knees be in line with your heels to your capacity. If you have any knee niggles, you've got your scarf behind your knee. Take your hands, move your buttock flesh back. So upper buttock area descending down, abdomen broadly back and up. Keep that connection as you walk your hands forward. Hands a little bit wider than your shoulders. So it gives this upper trapezius a moment to release, neck in line with your spine. And then from there again, walking over to your right side. Keep both sides of your torso equally long. Spacious breaths. Yeah, you're right. That's it. And then come back to the center, reaching forward. There he is. Hello, Lucas. And then walk your hands over to your left side. Again, both sides of your torso equally long. Tops of the shoulders releasing. Come back to the center. And then from there, slowly come up to seated Dandasana. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Okay, come forward to the camera, please, so that I can demonstrate the next few postures. And I'm going to demonstrate quite a few postures again, just so that you have a visual in mind. These are all postures that you know, but just so that you have a visual in mind when I talk you through it. So come a little bit closer. And this first part, we're going to do next to the wall, but you can readjust your mat in a moment. So mat at the wall, and so some of you are going to come into a Padmasana variation. Let me just demonstrate on this side. So some of you are going to come into this type of Padmasana, okay? If that's not available to you today, then you're simply going to come into Janu Siddhasana. And when we come into the fuller Padmasana, some of you are going to be in Barakonasana, and some of you will be in the full Padmasana. And both the variation that I'm going to show you now at the wall and when we're seated, the same count. So please take the variation that works for your body. So coming to sit and snuggle up right next to the wall, legs up, Viparita Karani. And then again, like we did right in the beginning, you're going to take your fingers behind this knee to pull this foot into Padmasana and then staying there. Those of you not going into Padmasana will be in Janu Siddhasana. So, and then we'll do both sides, and then we're going to come into full Padmasana on each side. So starting again with the right foot, bringing it in, letting it settle for a moment, and then taking the other knee. And you can either bring the foot behind, or if it's possible, you bring it over. And those of you not doing Padmasana here, you'll take both your hands and you'll be in Barakonasana at the wall. So continue to stay at the camera. I'm going to demonstrate what we're going to do afterwards, similar to what we did at the wall, but you're just going to come away from the wall. This is where some of you might need your two belts, so have them handy in case you need them. You can also sit on height if that's what you need. So we're going to come into Urdhva Padmasana. Those of you who can will bring this foot into Padmasana. And here's where the one belt might come in handy, because you're going to wrap your arm around and hold on to the foot. And then folding forward, this is where the second belt might become handy if you can't reach. Please don't fold forward if you feel any niggles going on in your hips, your knees, your ankles. The other variation, for those of you who did it at the wall, will be coming into Janu Siddhasana, also folding forward. And then afterwards, we're going to go into the full Padmasana here. So again, we'll just sit upright, either the foot underneath or bringing the foot over. Those of you not doing will come into Barakonasana twice. Okay, so please bring your mat to the wall and come and sit with your one side hip right against the wall, so that you hug your buttocks at the wall to bring your legs up into this variation of Viparita Karani. And just land there for the moment. Let your lower back rest on the floor. Remember, if you have any knee niggles, you would have taken your scarf with you. And as you lie yourself down, relax your arms beside your body, and especially those of you with neck and shoulder niggles, let this upper trapezius area release down your back. Bring your your bottom edges of your shoulder blades into your back and draw them down your back towards your upper buttocks. So just give yourself that release in the neck. Just feel your breath. Just to feel your lower back connected to the earth. And now some of you are just going to come into Janu Siddhasana. Some of you are going to come into half Padmasana. Bend your right knee. Take your right hand, your right hand behind your knee. So Carol, behind your, yes, that's it. You're behind your knee. Take your left hand on the top of your right foot and pull that left foot either to the sole of the foot to the inner thigh, or bringing it to the front groin if you're coming into Padmasana. Keep your left leg active, extending into that left heel. And take your right hand onto the inside of that right thigh and just gently coax that right knee towards the wall. So feel what's happening with your sacrum and see if you can levelize the two sides of your sacrum. Very important in Padmasana to just have an awareness of that. Now release your right leg back up against the wall. Take your left fingers behind your left knee. So either Janu Siddhasana with the sole of the foot to the inner thigh, or take your right hand on the top of that left foot and draw it into the right front groin. And then finally, right at the end, you let the fingers go. And everybody take your left hand onto that left front thigh and very gently coax that left knee slightly more towards the wall. Right leg active. Feel what's happening in your sacrum. And just finding the levelness between the two sides of your sacrum. See what you need to do in your body to find that balance. And then release your left leg up. Both legs straight. So those of you not doing Padmasana, you'll take your hands behind both your knees and come into Barakonasana with the soles of your feet together. Everybody else, right knee first. Take your right hand behind your right knee. And take your left hand to the top of the foot and draw that right foot into Padmasana. First, let that leg settle. Then take your left fingers behind your left knee and draw that left foot closer with your right hand. You can either put the left foot behind the right knee, or maybe you can bring it over and bring it into the right front groin. So again, everybody, you can take your hands and just very softly push onto the fronts of your thighs, whether you're in Barakonasana or whether you're in Padmasana, very gently guiding your thighs towards the wall. And if Padmasana is not working, you in Barakonasana. Yeah, it's all looking very good, guys. Wow. And then from there, carefully release your legs back up the wall. And some of you are going to just repeat again your Barakonasana. Or we're going to start with the left leg, bringing your fingers behind that left knee. Bending that knee and taking the left foot with your right hand to the right front groin, bringing it deep in. Let that leg settle first. And then take your right hand behind your right knee, your right fingers, and draw with the left hand that right foot, either to the back of your left knee, or if you can bring it over, then you bring it to the left front groin. Again, whether you are in Barakonasana or Padmasana, take your hands to the fronts of your thighs and just gently move your knees towards the wall. It's actually the thighs. Letting that lower back sacral area just settle into the earth. And then from there, very carefully release your legs back up the wall. Let's take a moment to straighten out that space behind your knees. And then bend your knees, bring your knees towards your chest. Reach your right arm up beside your right ear and roll your body onto your right side. Press your hands down onto the floor and come up to seated. And so I would say you can keep your mat at the wall because we are going to use the wall later on again. But make sure that however you are seated in your space, that you are facing towards the camera. So it doesn't really matter what orientation you have on your mat, but make sure that your body is orientated towards the camera so that we all facing each other. And come and sit in Dandasana. Please take support if you need it underneath your buttocks. And those of you who think you might need your belts, please have them nearby. Take your buttock flesh and draw your buttock flesh back so that you're seated on your sitting bones. Inner groins rolling down towards the earth. And then taking the same variation that you took at the wall, or if you feel that your hips now feel ready and you might want to try Padmasana, then you're welcome to. Again, we're going to start with the right fingers behind the right knee, either coming into Janu Siddhasana, sole of the foot to the inner thigh, or you take the top of that right foot with your left hand and draw that right foot into the top of your left groin. First, let it settle. And then you draw your hand out. Remember, if you've got a sore knee, then you've got your scarf behind your knee. Activate your left leg, front thigh to back thigh, and stretch into your heel, toes facing directly upward. Lift and lengthen your spine. So for those of you in Urdhva Padmasana, wrap your right hand around to hold on to the right foot. If there's any shoulder niggles, then you'll just take the Janu Siddhasana variation of holding the left foot directly. Otherwise, if you need a belt to be able to catch the foot, then you're going to wrap a belt around that right foot, right hand holding the right big toe. And then for those of you who know your left hamstring is a little tight, you'll have another belt around your left foot. Reach your left arm up. Those of you in Janu Siddhasana, both arms are reaching up. And you're plugging your upper arm bones back into your shoulder sockets. Exhale, folding forward over that left leg, left elbow drawing out to the side and moving your chest towards your big toe. If you feel any niggles as you fold forward, please rather come back up to sit. And then from there, slowly come back up. Straighten out your legs. You can squeeze the outside of that right knee as you straighten the right leg forward. And please take the same variation on the left side as what you did on the right side. So for those of you coming into Janu Siddhasana, sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Those of you coming into Padmasana, again, everybody take your fingers behind the knee joint, pull that foot in, take the left foot with your right hand, turn the sole of the foot up like you did right in the beginning in Siddhasana, and place the foot onto the top of the front of that right groin. Janu Siddhasana, people, you've just got the sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Everybody activate your right leg. Extend into the heel, let the toes face up. And now wrapping this left arm around and hold on to your left big toe, or you're using a belt. Janu Siddhasana, your arms are just free. Shoulder people also arms free. And then if you need another belt, it's around your right foot. Inhale, reach your right arm up, elevate your spine. When you fold forward from your hip crease. And folding over that leg. Please, again, if there's any sensation, then rather do not fold forward. Just respect the difference between the two sides. And then from there, slowly come back up. Squeeze that left knee as you release it. Even if you were in Janu Siddhasana, just to release the leg out, straighten your legs out in front of you. Okay, now either coming into full Padmasana or Barakonasana. Barakonasana, you'll take your soles of your feet together. those of you coming into Padmasana, start with your right leg. Again, very important, fingers behind, turning the sole of the foot to face up to the sky, external rotation of that right femur bone, and sit for a moment, let it settle. Then taking your left hand behind your left knee, and first just draw your left foot behind your right knee. And those of you going further, you will lift the foot up, again turning the sole of the foot up to the sky and letting it settle. So external rotation of the femur bones. Extend from your inner groins to your inner knees and draw back from your outer knees to your outer hips. Upper buttock area down, abdomen broadly back and up, and elevate your spine. Relax your palms of your hands just on your thighs and sit upright. Looking straight forward, eyes soft and inward looking. So a slight hug of those thighs in towards your midline. So there's a compactness that assists in the lifting of your spine. And then from there, very slowly, very cautiously release. Come back into Dandasana. Open up that space behind your knees. And then either repeating Janu Siddhasana, Barakonasana, or we're going to start with the left side. Left fingers behind your left knee. Take the top of your right hand onto the top of that left foot and turn the sole of the foot to face up as you place it down. External rotation of that left thigh. And then right fingers behind your right knee, drawing that right foot in. So again, just let the right foot relax underneath the left knee. And then those of you going further, you'll pick up the foot with your left hand and draw it in. And both femur bones externally rotating down to the earth. But then there's that compactness of the thighs drawing in to your center line. Upper buttock area down, abdomen broadly back and up. So there's a lift in the central channel of your spine. Sit upright with the crown of your head directly above your pelvic floor and just look straight ahead. Relax the tops of your shoulders down your back by activating those bottom edges of your shoulder blades in and down. Become aware of your breath. And then from there, again, very gently, very cautiously release your legs back into Dandasana. Spread the backs of your knees. And when you feel ready, please come closer to the camera once again. So I'll demonstrate the final part. Your mat can stay at the wall. If anyone has their moon flow, then you're not going to be doing shoulder balance. You will just be repeating, coming with your legs up against the wall in Viparita Karani. This counts for anyone, eye issues or anybody that feels you've kind of had enough. If you've got serious stuff going on in your neck and your shoulders, then also that would be the option. So for everybody else, just observe. So I'm going to demonstrate the whole sequence so that you have a visual of it. We're going to do chair Sarvangasana today to accommodate especially people with neck and shoulder niggles. Your chair a little bit away from the wall, about a foot away from the wall. Going to use a bolster in front and a folded blanket on top. So I'll offer variations as we continue. Making sure that you gently land and just be there with comfort. Anyone with like sacral lower back niggles, you can take a foam and you can set that up behind your lower back. Sometimes the chair can be a bit harsh for some people, so you're welcome to do that. Okay, so at any point, if anyone feels that they've had enough, The relaxing variation is going to be feet against the wall, and you'll just be there. Okay, those of you participating, but if you've got serious neck and shoulder things going on, you'll either be with your legs up against the wall, or if you made it this far and you're feeling comfortable here, then for the first Padmasana, you can just stay in Konasana. Sacrum is on the chair so that your body weight is not on your neck and your shoulders. Second Padmasana, you can come into Barakonasana with the feet onto the edge of the chair. Those of you going a little further, even if you're not doing Padmasana, but you want to come into the balance, then you can come up and then you can repeat Parakonasana, what is it called? Konasana, Barakonasana for the second one. Those of you going into Padmasana, we're going to start in Konasana, and then we're going to do the right leg first. So you're going to bring your right leg forward, bending the knee. Now you don't have your hands to assist. So you're going to bring your foot in, and as you bring your foot in, you're going to bring this left leg forward. So you slide it in, and then you bring the other foot in. Middle buttocks forward to the pelvis, thighs back, and then hugging the thighs in. I'll show you on the other side again. So legs into Konasana. I'm going to take the left leg. So staying there, bending the knee. So at first, this leg is turning back. Then to seal in that left foot, I've got to bring this leg forward. I slide it in. And then you can either be on the back side or you bring it forward and then lifting up from there. But just know that when you are in the Padmasana variation, it's a lot of weight on the neck and the shoulders. So if you've got any niggles going on there, rather just take those other variations. And then from there, those of you who feel can come into a Halasana. And we'll all eventually meet here in this variation of shoulder stand. If at any point, if high blood pressure, whatever, if you feel it's just too much for you to be here, this is where we're all going to end, lying down onto the bolster and relax. So if, at any point, if you feel it's getting a bit much, you just come down. And then we'll move the bolster out of the way, preferably to your left side, and you're going to just relax here for Shavasana. Have an extra blanket if you're feeling cooler, so you've got everything ready there. And then just one last thing here to release the neck, holding onto the occipital, and you're going to just pull your chin to your chest, and then finally shoulder blades down to come into Shavasana. Okay. So take all your props that you need, extra blanket for your Shavasana if you need it, and come and set up your chair about one of your feet away from the wall, or 1.5 foot would also work. Your blanket on your chair, the backrest of the chair facing the wall, and your bolster at the feet, front feet of your chair. Again, for those of you who have your moon flow, you will just bring your legs straight up against the wall into Viparita Karani, rather than coming into your Sarvangasana. And if anybody is unsure how to get into the chair Sarvangasana, please let me know, but we'll go together. So, and just, yeah, you can land in, but we'll flow together. You can come into the posture just to drop into your chair sort of seat, and then we'll go from there together. But if anybody's unsure, please let me know. Make sure that your tops of your shoulders are supported. Some of you looks like you're using blankets, and that's fine. But just making sure that the tops, the very tops of your shoulders are supported and your neck is completely free, and land with your soles of your feet on the top rest of the chair. Mandy, that's going to be too close to the wall. Mandy, your chair's a bit too close to the wall. Yeah, oh, there we go, yeah. Okay, so for the moment, everybody that's landed in, your feet are resting on your top rest of your chair. Yeah, that's it, Riva. Marissa, I can't see exactly, but are your arms on the inside of the chair? Oh, they are. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's difficult to see on the camera. Umesh, go onto your elbow first. Go onto your elbow first. Yeah. And then bring your chair a little bit away from the wall. Bring your chair a little bit away from the wall. Give yourself some space. Yeah. And make sure that that blanket that you've got on is not sliding off. This is for everybody. If you're already in the pose, you please just wait. Danielle, your feet can be on the backrest of the chair, on the top rest of the chair. There, yes, exactly. Yeah. That's it. Okay. Umesh, start. Okay. Maybe start from the top again, because your shoulders must be on your support. Yeah. Make sure that the tops of your shoulders are supported by your bolster and that your arms are externally rotated so that your tops of your shoulders are releasing down your back away from your ears. Land on your elbows first. Yes, that's it. And now go slowly down. Step your feet onto the backrest of your chair while you slide down. Otherwise, you're in a deep back bend. Yeah, that's it. Yes. Yeah, that's it. Yes. Make sure your necks are free. Okay, so just take another moment to land there. And remember, at any point, if it feels too strong, you are just going to slide your body gently out so that your buttocks land on your bolster and your feet rest on your chair. So at any point, you're welcome to go there. Right now, everybody's feet are on the back, the top rest of the chair, and your sacral area is rested on the chair. Good. Again, just externally rotate your upper arms. Bring your shoulder blades into your back and activate that bottom trapezius to release your top trapezius. So there's space in your neck. So for those of you not going into Padmasana and not putting too much weight on your neck and your shoulders, you're going to keep your sacrum on the chair and come into Konasana. And at any point, if it's too much, you bring your feet against the wall and you rest. Those of you coming into a full balance, you're going to hold down the back legs of the chair, balance on the tops of your shoulders, and bring your legs up to come into balance and come into Konasana. If you find that as you go up, it's difficult to balance, or you find it's a bit too much on your neck and your shoulders, please bring your sacrum back onto the chair. So those of you who are going to go into your Padmasana, bring your right leg forward towards your face and your left leg back towards the wall. Bend your right knee and bring the top of your right foot to the left front groin. And as you do that, draw your left leg closer and closer and closer to you so you slide that foot in. Then bend your left knee and slide your left foot into the right front groin. Or maybe you just stay with one side Padmasana, that's fine. And maybe your left knee is bent, but your left foot is behind your right knee, then you can stay there. At any point, if it's too much, you just stay in your Konasana. Take a few moments there. Those of you in Padmasana, bring your sitting bones forward to your pelvis, lift your knees up to the sky, draw the fronts of your thighs to the backs of your thighs. So you're drawing your knees towards the wall, but your sitting bones towards the front of your pelvis. Upper buttocks moving towards the roof, lower abdomen back to your lower spine. Very, very slowly, cautiously release back into Konasana. And then for a moment, bring your legs back together into a full Sarvangasana. Just stay there for a moment, lifting in the center. Those of you not doing Padmasana, you're going to come into Barakonasana now. Everybody else, go back into what is it called? Konasana, legs wide out to the side. Now the left side, you're going to rotate. Bring your left leg closer to your face, your right leg back towards the wall. Bend your left knee. Bring your left foot towards that right front thigh. But as you do that, bring your right leg forward. So you slide that left foot deep in, and then you bend your right knee. And either bring your right foot behind your left knee, or possibly you can bring it over towards your left front groin. Again, if you're not doing, you just come into Barakonasana. Those of you who are in Padmasana, lift your knees up. Bring your middle buttocks forward to the front of your pelvis and draw your thighs back. Front thighs to back thighs. Draw your knees more towards the wall. That's it, Simone. Yeah, nice. Upper buttocks towards the roof and your abdomen broadly back to your lower spine. Release your legs cautiously back up into Konasana. Back with the legs together into Sarvangasana. Lift up a little bit higher for one more breath. Those of you wanting can now bring your legs into Halasana, legs up and over your head. If you have had enough, you're going to bring your feet one by one against the wall into that resting Sarvangasana. Nice spacious breaths, whichever posture you are in right now. Those of you in Halasana, keeping the lower abdomen engaged, bring your legs back up into Sarvangasana. And then everybody, very slowly, take one foot at a time and bring it against the wall and straighten your legs. I'm just coming into that resting variation of Sarvangasana. Throat soft. Eyes soft. Then bend your knees to step your feet onto the backrest of your chair. Try not to let the blanket move. Let go your hands and slide yourself back into the center of the room, landing your buttocks on your bolster. Your feet stay on the chair in a loose Barakonasana. Let your knees just drop gently out to the side. Let your upper buttock area continue to release towards the wall, arms released and relaxed. So Tanya, your feet can be on the seat of the chair. Yes, that's it. And then from there, bring your knees closer together for the moment. Press your heels into the chair. Lift your buttocks up and just remove your bolster to your left side and lower your sacral and lower back area down onto the floor. Your shin bones, your calf muscles are resting on the chair. And then for a moment, just take your hands behind your occipital bone of your head. Lift your head up and pull your chin towards your chest and just release that upper trapezius area for a moment. Then place your head back down, release your arms beside your body. Bring the bottom edges of your shoulder blades into your back and draw them down your back so that you release this upper trapezius area. And then for the next few breaths, accentuate your exhalation as you just let your body settle into the earth, into your Shavasana. Allow your breath to become slightly fuller and deeper once again. Just feeling the sacredness of that life force moving inside you. Bend your knees towards your chest so that your feet are resting onto the front of the seat of the chair. Reach your right arm up beside your right ear and roll your body onto your right side. Stay for a moment. And then press your hands down onto the earth and come up to seated in whatever position feels appropriate for you right now. Palms of your hands together at your heart. Your eyes soft, inward looking. Just honoring that spaciousness that you've created inside you. And namaste. Thank you all for joining this morning. Deepest appreciation. And I will unmute everybody now, but I think you also need to agree to be unmuted, but I'm going to do that.
Of an eye problem, which got totally forgotten with the niggles of this, that, the other, and everything else. Try and cancel out niggle. It's not a very good word to be using. Problem possibly is better. I feel that at the beginning, I know it's Zoom and it's difficult and it's unusual, but I think too much explanations, it will become obvious as you go through your class, as you describe it each time. Several demonstrations, it's the same no matter whether you're practicing in the studio with people in front of you. Their retention of the demonstrations is very limited. You can't do 6 or 7 demonstrations and then expect them to remember it. It's physically impossible. And the subtleties, So I think you have to be careful that you don't keep applying the normal rules of yoga teaching that we have, mentioning the pose and doing your demo, which you did. The demos were good, but there was too much for people to absorb and to do. Okay, you did. Yeah, I have a problem with the Zoom situation where there's a mirror image. It doesn't actually work, so I think it's something to think about. When you do your mirror image, you are actually going in an opposite direction to everybody, which maybe some thought needs to have it. I know it's a good practice for normal teaching.
But if everybody's face, you don't know what it looks like from the other side, but if we all face
the opposite
direction.
It doesn't. You need to do it on the right-hand side when they're doing it on the right-hand side, and you're going in the same direction. That's what comes over to me.
No,
yeah.
It's not for all. I think it's a setting on your Zoom.
That's what I thought. Yeah, because
okay. So well, then don't worry. We just have to bear with the fact that it's different on different machines.
But it's a very good point, because I wonder how other people's settings are when I'm teaching them on Zoom. So that is a very valid. Yes, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I think that's very valid.
Discrepancy, yeah. Okay.
I must go and look into that. Thank you.
I feel that you had lots of people with problems, but you rather settled on the problems first instead of just saying the pose we're doing is this. Everybody liked to try and achieve. You don't have to tell them to achieve it. They know what is coming. Then you say the alternatives quietly after that. So the main pose is where the impression is coming. What you need to be teaching.
Okay.
a small thing with standing poses and your Surya Namaskars. You were talking so much, it was very slow, no warming up as far as I was concerned. But anyway, I wasn't doing it. You maybe get a comment from other people. But there is a combination of Surya Namaskar and your standing poses. I don't know if you know that combination, that you could have flowed everything through the three or four standing poses you wanted to do, could have fitted into the Surya Namaskars, so there was next to no stopping and going.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Thank you.
Yeah, there is a sequence which maybe you can find out about that.
Okay, thank you.
I thought you prepared them pretty well for their but same again, a little confusing. Rather mention the pose that you're aiming towards and worry about the niggles in the knee and the niggles in the neck and the niggles here, there and everywhere. It makes it very confusing. I think, people who have a niggle, a problem, please say problem, they will be more aware of what's going, and that you can watch. But always the pose first, what you're looking to have and teach, and then the alternatives can come secondary. It was the other way around with quite a few. You were more concerned about the problems than the actual teaching of the pose. Padmasan.
Sorry, Pat, can I just ask, wait, can everyone please mute themselves except Pat, because there's so much interference coming from everyone else.
Making a problem. Okay. Give it a try. I'm nearly finished. I hope you're pleased to hear. Padmasan Action. There is a movement in the buttock bones, but there's also a movement in the pelvis. And the side thighs, when you're vertical, when you're in Sarvangasana, should be vertical. The side thighs should be vertical, which wasn't mentioned. When you're doing it seated, there's a movement in the buttock bones, which also needs to be mentioned. So maybe go back, and you can get into it very easily. I know that. So, you don't have to worry about that, but most people need those extra actions of moving the buttock bone and checking that the outer thigh is really coming into the center line so that you have parallel lines there. But apart from that, I think the one you did on the chair was really, I hadn't seen that done before, and I think it's I don't know how everybody felt about it, but I thought it looked at it as a very successful way of doing it. Okay, well done, dear.
Thank you so much, Pat.
Over to somebody else.
Thank you.
Jill, can you talk now?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Well done, Barney. You got the students in very nicely and carefully. In your standing poses, you turn the right leg out 90 degrees. You do not turn the left heel out. You bring the ball of the foot in, and that makes action in that back leg. Otherwise, the back leg goes soft. So you swivel on the heel and turn the toes in. Okay.
Thank you.
And when you're seated, your inner groins are revolving back down to the floor, right? Now, if you pull them forward towards the inner knee, you're going to throw the top of your sacrum out.
Okay.
The groins do not move. They stay moving back to maintain the tilt of the pelvis correctly. But your inner thighs, you extend towards the inner knee.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
That's great. Thank you.
Excuse me, the shoulder blades. Your shoulders move back and down. The shoulder blades move down. But the lower points of your shoulder blades move into the back and actually up to give you that tilt.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Found it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Wow.
shoulder blades the lower points also down, and then in and
up. Yeah, I feel what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
So not everything's moving down. It's got to go. And then that little at the bottom. Okay.
Thanks so much.
Gita taught us during the Padmasana, keep the knees wide. When you're more able to do the pose, then you bring the knees in closer. But that buttock bone will move with the back of the knee. Okay, right buttock bone towards the back of the right knee. Buttock bone. And then what helps also with sore knees, if you hold the ankle, hold the knee, and stretch them apart when bringing the leg up.
Okay.
And you're softening that knee.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
When you're demonstrating, like the, excuse me, my voice is going all strange. The half Padmasana or Urdhva Padmasana, to hold the foot. And you said those of you who can't hold the foot, use the belt. You didn't show how to use the belt. You just put the belt in your hand there.
I was trying, it was a time-saving thing. But you're okay. It's the same as all the postures demonstrated together. I was trying to, I finished on time. But it was, I was a bit lazy. Thank you.
And then the second belt, throw it around the foot. Because it's important where it should be. On the, but your instructions were clear, and you didn't feel rushed or that you had to do something. You had your alternatives. And well done.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
With your outer upper thigh, just suck it in more. Because that's not working in all your poses.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thigh bones up the pelvis. Then you start working there.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Okay. That's all I have to say.
It's a lot. Thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thanks, Mel. That was a lovely class. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the pace. And I think as Iyengar teachers, we have to learn to say less.
Yeah, sure. It's like such a difficult thing. Yeah.
It's nice to have a little bit of space in between, just to allow the student to experience the pose. So I think it's something that we can all work on to say less. But I echo what Pat and Joel had said, and thank you.
Thanks, Eva. Thank you so much.
I think we've got maybe a few minutes if anybody, people just commented at the beginning, if there's anybody else that feel that they have a burning desire to say something, otherwise we're done.
May I say that, I don't think everyone might know, but Mel had COVID and recovered quite fast from it. So I just wanted to encourage that. The healing, and she went through it quite quickly, and of course with her yoga and all her tools, and just wanted to acknowledge that it's quite a strong virus that she got through. She's just it's recent, right?
Thanks, Ismay. Yeah, and the yoga helped a lot. Hanging in the ropes, upside down, turning in different directions. Both my parents, in their mid-70s, they were hospitalized. They both made it as well. They also both got through it. And I told them to turn around in different directions. Prone, one side, other side, sitting upright. And then, of course, we get to hang upside down, which was very beneficial. So, thank you, Ismay.
Well done.
So it's not a death sentence for anyone who's afraid. It's totally easy to get through it. Yeah, with yoga.
Wow.
Thank you.